we talked about breaking up. I feel like when we talked about the Outkast Rock and Roll Hall of Fame conversation, and I think I said on here that the Dungeon family doesn't do breakups. I said that you're never gonna see Big Boy and Andre break up. I feel like I may have said the same thing about Goodie Mob. Well, right on cue, Goodie Mob's breaking up. It's amicable, it sounds like. Cee-Lo posted this to his Instagram. I'll go ahead and read it for the people so you don't have to go onto a whole nother platform. Cee-Lo posted earlier today, a couple hours back. He said, "We're living in an amazing time, and an ironic one as well. Our brothers, Outkast, have just been officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where they belong. But I also have a bittersweet announcement to make. This is Goodie Mob's 30th anniversary. If you didn't know yet, I'm also going to announce for the first time that this will be our farewell. The fans know that we've gone through a great deal together. So for no reason in particular, let's just call it natural causes. And we all agree that it's time. We're about to work on a farewell album and a tour, God willing. So for those of you who truly have love for the mob and the Dungeon family, make sure that if we happen to be somewhere near you, come and see and support. Go follow Cujo, Timo, Gib. Y'all appreciate all the love over the years. Stay tuned for details. We did it for Atlanta. Love y'all.
I mean,
What
I
do
don't
you
look
think
at
about
it as a
this announcement?
negative. Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
you did. It's funny you did just say that last week that the Dungeon family don't break up.
I did
But
too. I
I
think
don't see
somebody's
this.
listening.
Yeah, I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as a good celebration of the careers that extended for this long. I mean, it's no different from Wu Tang. They're not officially saying that they're breaking up, but Wu Tang saying, "Hey, we're gonna give you this album. We're gonna give you this farewell tour, and thank you for the support all these years." Basically, I see the same thing with this Goodie Mob album. I don't think it's nothing. It's not nothing that's ugly. It's like, hey man, they're up in age. A lot of them probably don't even want to tour no more, or are looking to make future music. At least they're giving us a final tour and an album to go along with it. And who knows in what capacity we could see them in musically in the future. Like, who knows, man? I don't ever see Cee-Lo just stop creating music. I don't see that happening for him. But can I see the other guys in Goodie? Yeah, probably. But man, this is a good thing, and it should be a celebration for it.
Yeah.
And because we like to age our artists in hip hop, and if they're old and can't do certain stuff on stage and they fall over and stuff, they're gonna be clowned and they're gonna be in a shade room and everybody gonna be joking to have whatever. But when they know when to call it quits, I could respect that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to respect our legends in hip hop and give them their flowers. And this is more of a celebration more so than a negative, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I appreciate the closure of it all, and I know that on the opposite end, and I say this respectfully, I mean, Outkast never has given us that level of closure, right? Everybody's just hoping for the next album. And I've always said I respected and loved the way that A Tribe Called Quest did it the first time, when they called it quits. They broke up the first time with the Love Movement. They basically, like you said, went on a farewell tour. Told everybody it was going to be their final album. But just like that one, it felt like it was. I'm gonna be careful here because I'm gonna be careful. I don't want this to come across as whatever, but it felt like, from a fan perspective, it felt like Q-Tip was the one that was like, yeah, we're all going to do our own things. You know what I'm saying? And kind of led the charge. And I see that with Cee-Lo here. And while you were talking, I was looking at all of the other social medias from the other Goodie Mob members. I didn't see that, same message. Cee-Lo broke the news, led the charge. That's well within their right at this point. You know what I'm saying? They've done the job. They've done more than their job. And it sounds like everybody's cool with it. Life changes. They're never going to be able to be the group that they once were, when they were guys in their 20s, right? Their life is different. Life is taking them in so many different directions. You don't even have that time to really sit down and create with your brothers in the same way that you once did, So it's like, whenever we come back together, Dungeon Family is always going to be Dungeon Family. So, I mean, we're probably going to see them on stage with each other whenever Dungeon Family does something. And I love the whole build up of having a final album. I loved it when Tribe did it. I love it that Goodie's doing it. And I think the time is good to do it when Outkast is about to be celebrated in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And in my personal opinion, I think that there should be some I think Goodie Mob should get some level of acknowledgement, by some hall. I mean, if we had a hip hop Hall of Fame, sure, you know what I'm saying? And I think that really, somewhere
Them in-
down the line, Cee-Lo should be in the rock. Let me just say it like that. Based on the work and what he's done solo, what he's done as a writer, what he's done as a producer, and a Goodie Mob, I think, could be in there if they had more of an extensive catalog in the way that Cass did. But I think that Cee-Lo should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at some point too. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah. I think he's more like he's showed his versatility among the years in hip hop. I agree. Even what he did with Gnarls Barkley. You know what I'm saying?
Cut it out, man. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, you
Cut
good.
it out,
Even
man.
with Gnarls Barkley and stuff like that. I mean, Cee-Lo's amazing. But why everybody's thinking about that Notebook with Andre 3K, I don't think people are actually thinking about maybe putting more attention to possibly hearing Outkast in the new Goodie Mob album. I mean, could you see Andre telling them no? This is your
No,
farewell
he was
album.
on the last
Maybe we can get Outkast on the Goodie Mob album.
Yeah.
So maybe that
They
could be
Outkast should be on the final Goodie Mob album. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I remember
alley for it. Create that
I'm
word.
aging myself here, man. I was in the 7th grade when Soul Food came out. When Soul Food came out, man, they were my favorite group. And that's Outkast included. You know what I'm saying? Like Soul Food had the city on lock. And Goodie Mob really set the stage. I give Goodie Mob so much credit with changing the direction lyrically mostly of where Outkast was going. Like how thoughtful and thought-provoking and how just conscious their lyrical message was. They were like a whole sonic force, man. Like I saw a post the other day, somebody was like not mentioning Dre, Big Boy, and Cee-Lo. What are your top 5 Dungeon Family verses? And I started thinking like, and Cujo had a lot of them in mind. You know what I'm saying? Cool Breeze as well, and Big Gip also. But it's like, man, Goodie Mob, they really gave you food for the soul on Soul Food. And they set a foundation for that lyrical message when it came to the Dungeon Family. I feel like Southern Playalistic really set the foundation sonically and production-wise, song-making-wise. But when it came down to really rhyming with a perspective, and that's not to say that Dre and Big Boy weren't spitting on Southern Playalistic, but the perspective and the consciousness, man, like Goodie Mob just up the ante. And then that's when you get ATLians. You get Outkast being extremely serious on the mic and being a lot more introspective than they were before. Because even when you listen to Dirty South on Soul Food, Big Boy killed it. But what Cool Breeze and Gip are on there talking about is a lot more layered. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cool Breeze really took it there. Bill Clinton wanted me some weight, told me keep 2, bring him back 8, but I only stuck him 5 and held on to 3. Do you think that Clampton stick his goons on me? Like, he's talking about the president, servant, like, you know what I'm saying? Just that whole trickle down thing. And I think that's one of the top 5 verses too, man. His second verse on Dirty South. Cool Breeze killed it, man. Shout out to Cool Breeze. I want to interview him. I always have.
Sir. And I had the chance to see Goodie, so that was cool. I seen Goodie a couple times, but my last time seeing Goodie was actually my favorite. I seen him on tour with Erykah Badu. They opened up for Badu, and they killed it, man. It was love for them. Along with who was on that tour is interesting. Ja Rule was on that tour, and he actually killed it that night too.
Ja Rule's a great performer. We don't give Ja Rule enough credit.
Ja throughout the years, it became like this laughing stock to people in hip hop due to 50 and everything. But Ja shows doesn't look like he ever lost fans. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've seen Ja on a couple openings of some shows, and when we go out there and perform in shows, he's killing it. But I don't want to move on too far away from the Goodie Mob. I just want to put that out there. But
No, that's real, man. Listen,
love the
Ja's a
Goodie
great performer. Hold on, let
yeah,
me get to some of these damn
spam.
spam. Yeah,
Yeah,
but Ja, no, he kills it, and the music really lives. Like, I hate that rap battles can turn fans against the music or the artist or whatever, but that didn't happen for Ja because his music stood the test of time.
yeah, and shout out to Goodie because it was a few years ago. Not few, it's probably over 5 years ago. I did a freestyle over Black Ice and Cujo showed love on the IG,
Nice.
so that was dope. Back then to just get that acknowledgement from Goodie and specifically Cujo, so that was dope for me as well. Shout out to Goodie Mob, man. I know
Yeah,
Gip.
man. Shout out to Big Gip, man. Big Gip actually let me
Yeah,
sit down and do an interview with him, man, about a year and a half ago. Learned a lot. He was giving game as he always does, man. And I hope too in this farewell tour, and we can do this as well. Goodie Mob down, we can reach out to some of our people or whatever. I hope they do some interviews, man, and I hope they
yeah,
really hit people on the game of, the history of this group and why this group is so important. I think when we talk about Outkast and what they mean to Southern hip hop in Atlanta's music scene, somehow we kind of fumble over what Goodie Mob means too. They were a tandem, man. It was like
mhm.
94 we'll have Cass, 95 Goodie's coming. You know what I'm saying? Then 96 Cass. And then, late 98 it was Goodie. It was a lot going on in 97. They took a little bit longer to record Still Standing, but the city was shut down whenever those two acts released their records. Like Greg Street, for the people who were in Atlanta at the time,
Red
Greg
Street.
Street would literally play the whole album on the radio. Like they were about to come out before it came out. I remember hearing Soul Food on the radio. I remember hearing ATLians before it came out on the radio from start to finish. I remember hearing Aquemini on the radio for the first time, start to finish, Still Standing as well. I don't know about World Party. That might have been, things might have changed then, but maybe they did and I just wasn't listening. I was actually listening to Chris Love and Poon Daddy at the time, Ludacris show.
Luda.
Yeah. But yeah, man, they really, really hold a special place in Atlanta history. And I hope that the city of Atlanta really holds these guys up on their final tour because they mean everything to us in the same way. And I mean this, I'm not just saying this, in the same way that Outkast does. The same way. It's not too much different if we talk about what they mean to the city. You can have your favorites, the facts are the facts.
Yeah, man. Like Outkast just kind of musically, I guess, to the mainstream, they just took it further. That's all. They just
Yeah,
do the crossover. But same camp, same goals, and their extension. So
same
shout out to
mission,
both. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to
But
both.
from a talent perspective, man, like it, they're as dope as it gets, man. I wish Goodie Mob could have given us more, but they kind of they broke up, got back together, did their own individual things, and I'm glad they finally got back together, and I'm glad they're finally doing this. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you about to say?
Are you good? Nah. It was just me showing love, just saying, shout out to both groups, and I'm looking forward to this album. I really wonder, will we get a reunion Outcast on that, or or is it going to
We
be a
got,
joint effort? Will we have more of Atlanta, the core of Atlanta, show up on that?
we
I don't
should.
know. It should be dope. I mean, that Wu album was pretty good. So,
That
uh,
Woo, that Woo album is blueprint of how acts like this should make new music. Bone Thugs and Harmony, whoever, like what I'm saying. Just it's the blueprint, in my personal opinion, man. That Woo album was stupid dope.
and they had features with who they want to feature with, and there's a
Mhm.
ton of artists they could have just threw on there just to garner more attention, but they rock with who they could bring into their world. You know what I'm
Who
saying? And
makes sense? Like I could see Earth Gang being on this Goodie Mob album. You know what I'm saying? Since you guys clearly listen to the show, you know what I'm saying. But I could see Earth Gang. You know what I'm saying? People like that being on the album, and the folks that you influence that come from that tree of Goodie Mob and the Dungeon family in general. It's a great opportunity to make some great music and show love at the same time. But I feel
Yeah.
like Cee-Lo, with his resources and his talent and his reach and the respect he has, he can get anybody on this album.
Yeah, and I definitely want to hear some of the young Dungeon on there. Just imagine Future going back and doing
Oh yeah,
something. Well, he
he
comes out
was
of
on
that.
the other album, I think. I think he was on the other album, the last album they released. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
Um,
I actually didn't hear that one, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
it's all right. You know what? I will say this: that nigga Timo was crazy on that album. I never heard Timo rap like that, respectfully, and
Okay.
it's just.
I
And
might
a
have to
lot of
go.
people feel like Timo's like
I'm
the
not
new
gonna sit here and
god
cap.
of, huh?
I say I'm not gonna sit here and cap for the people. I did not hear it, but I
You
may.
got to check it out. You got to check it out. It was all right. A lot of people look at Timo as like the you guy of Goodie Mob. Yeah, he was killing it. And you
That's
can
what's up.
hear that there was probably some Future influence on that album too. So I would love to hear Future on this. And rest in peace to Rico Wade. It's a great
Yeah.
dedication to him as well.